Once there lived a rich man in a village who got all the richness from his father. He was lazy and never tried to do any work for a living because he thought the money he had would be sufficient for the rest of his life. After his father passed away, he started spending all the money he had. There was another wise man in the same village who used to warn this rich man about his lavish expenses. But the rich man never listened to the wise man and spent everything he had. He reached to a point where he was left with only a little land. Then he realized his mistakes and went to the wise man seeking for his help. The wise man did not hate him, but advised him to do farming. The rich man, who now became poor, said to the wise man, "I don't know what to do." The wise man replied, "Do not worry, for I will be your guide and let you know how, when, and what to do." He trusted the wise man and started working in his land under the wise man's guidance. Few months later, he got the crop into his hand. Then he realized hard work and obedience pays off. He went to the wise man and said, "If you weren't there, I wouldn't have seen this miracle happening in my life," and thanked him, and lived happily ever after. As we all know, when Israelites felt like they cannot make it through the Red Sea, and when Saul and his army felt like they're not going to win against the giant enemy, Moses did not know what to do. And even David did not have the strength to carry the war equipment to fight against Goliath. Moses had a staff and David had just a slingshot. But the biggest thing they had was faith in God. God used Moses' staff to separate the Red Sea and led the Israelites through it, and David's slingshot to defeat Goliath, because they trusted God and didn't step back. Inevitably, we all face Goliaths or impasses like the Red Sea in our life. In these kind of situations, all that we need to do is put our faith in God and do what we can. Then God does what we can't. The rich man trusted the wise man and earned back his richness. Even we have to learn to not worry about the troubles that we are facing in our life, for God has overcome the world. He is above all things, and nothing that we struggle with is impossible for God to overcome.